Up, friends, and welcome in to Studio Day Heffrey and Studio Day Jesse. My mic is turned all the way up for some reason. My name is Jeff Cavanaugh. Welcome. It's good to see you. You can hear me on 97.1 The Freak from 2 to 6 p.m. in DFW or on the iHeartRadio app if you're outside the listening area. And this is my friend and co-host, the great Jesse Holley, former Cowboys wide receiver.
It's not.
Did I hit the wrong button?
Oh, Jesse Holley went 77 yards. It must be a reality show.
I don't know what the other one did. I don't even know what all my hotkeys are. I hit the wrong button though.
It did like the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire kind of music.
Oh, was it the TikToky angry IKEA guy bed?
Yes.
Okay.
That one.
Okay, yeah, my button's top right, your button's right below it, but I accidentally went left of it. Yep. It happens. Anyway, this is Bleav in Dallas Cowboys, where we don't Bleav in doing things more than once. So I'm not going to undo that. You're just going to enjoy what you heard. And we're brought to you by our friends at BetOnline, your number one source for all your betting needs. Get the latest odds, lines, matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. Beware, the Texas Rangers are losing and the American League West race is heating up. Get the latest odds, lines, matchup reports. I already told you that. BetOnline continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers. Live betting, your favorite casino and card games right there on your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today. Get in on the action. Use our promo code Bleav, BLEAV. For your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online where the game starts. All right, we played preseason game numero dos, Jesse Holley. There's a lot of different ways to go. I don't want to fight about bubble wrap because there is no right or wrong way to do this. I firmly stand by that, but I am very sad that DeMarvion Overshown is not going to be a part of this thing because he tore his ACL. And I'm very sad that John Stevens Jr., who was having a good camp and kept showing up in games, didn't get the opportunity to knock somebody off the roster because I think he might have had a shot at that if he didn't get hurt. So we're down 2 men, and it makes me sad, Jesse.
I'm going to go back and then get to the front part of your question. For a guy like Stretch and John Stevens Jr., John Stephen Jones Jr., Stephen John Jones, whatever his name is.
Yeah, you're in the ballpark.
This might not necessarily be a bad thing because, and here's why. Just walk with me.
Because he can get paid on IR and try again next year.
Pay on IR, like this is I know people who, as you got closer and closer to the cuts, they started like, man, I might not make it. I'm probably gonna fake an injury because, as you know, Jeff. If you cannot get released injured unless you signed a settlement.
Yeah, you get your nice little injury settlement.
You get your injury settlement, and if you're going to get cut anyway, why not leave with 40, 50, depending on, because your injury settlement is the amount of weeks they predict it will take you to get healthy based on the amount that you would have made in the season.
Oh, I'm a fake an Achilles. I need 9 months.
You can't quite fake an Achilles. They can actually do like medical. But like me, right? A quad, a groin, those type of things. If you're getting close to that deadline and there's proof that you actually hurt one of those things, then now they cannot release you injured, or they can say, well, this is a 2-week injury, so we're going to release you and pay you $50,000.
Yeah.
That's consolation prize for a guy like, Stevens Jr., who, yes, he might have pushed somebody for a roster spot, but they may have said, you know what, we really like Hendershot. Ferg is really our guy. We just drafted a guy in the second round, and I don't know where they would have went with Sean McEwen, but maybe you don't make this team, or maybe you try to get to the practice squad, but this kind of almost ensure that you'll at least get some sort of compensation for the year, right? And then now if they really like you and you're a product, they'll keep you along and they'll gradually, nurse you back to health, and then maybe you can start again next offseason with the knowledge of, now I understand the playbook, I understand the terminology, I got to watch film, I see who's where, and so on and so forth, and who knows what may happen throughout this season with guys coming and going. Now for the DeMarvion Overshown situation, that sucks. I mean, it sucks. It really does. This was a guy who was going to make this roster. This was a guy who was going to have significant playing time in this rotation. This was a guy who I think wholeheartedly was going to make an impact. And it sucks. It happens. Football is 100% hurt. It is. It's the hurt business. 100%. You name a guy who played football almost at any level, really, and didn't get hurt, that means they probably didn't play. This is the hurt business. And it sucks to the moon and back that this kid who had a stellar spring, was dominating in camp, won't get an opportunity to showcase his skills on a defense that I think you believe the same thing, can have a historic year. They're good enough and built well enough to have a historic year this year. And at times you want to be a part of that. You want your name attached to that success. You want to be able to say, I did this or did that, especially if this team lives up to its on roster. You want to be a part of this as a contributor from someone who's on the field. So it sucks. It sucks for Demarion Overshown because he won't be a part of this football team on the field this year.
And I think it makes him a little bit thin at linebacker, but also with Parsons being basically an edge dude, I feel like you're going to have Van Der Esch, Damone Clark, and then Jabril Cox and Devin Harper, I guess, behind them. But that is kind of thin. And you may have, I don't know, Malik Jefferson. Maybe he makes the team, I guess, because of this. And your safeties will play some linebacker because that's what they do. So I think they'll be okay there, but they are getting a little thin. It's worth keeping an eye on. Now, next thing I want to talk about from the preseason is people get really mad about just watching games and telling people what you see. And I don't know why. Like, I don't understand why some people they pick players that it's like, you don't criticize that guy, but you can criticize this guy, and they just pick and choose. Like, I didn't get the first round pick washed 8 yards downfield. I didn't get the first round pick have the center reach him when he's lined up on his right shoulder and able to make that reach by. Like, I didn't do those things. So my question is, with apologies to all the fans who just insist that Mazi Smith has played really well through 2 preseason games when he hasn't, level of concern that your first round pick is getting bullied at this point in his rookie year.
On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being alarms are going bonkers, 1 being not concerned at all, 4. And the reason being is there's a couple things. We live in this microwave society where things have to happen right now. And if there's any area where man strength and I just got out of college strength are, on a crash course, it's in those trenches. And in those trenches, there's so many things, because guess what? Y'all get it. Mazi bullied other kids in college. These ain't kids. These grown men with stress and anxiety and bills and taxes and baby mothers and side chicks and side babies. And so when you add the element of I'm 30, you're 22. When you add the element of I know the tricks of the trade when it comes to positioning, momentum, pad grabbing, leverage, and you're still learning. When you add to the fact that some of these guys have been in the league 10, 8, 9, 10 years, and you've been in the league 10 weeks, you run into this situation in the interior. And I think Mazi is learning. He will learn. But guys now at this level who have even a couple years on you, they got man strength on you, they have technique and wisdom on you, and they know how to use their positioning, their body movements, all of that. They know how to take the one thing that you do well and make it a negative. Oh, he's really strong. Bull rush up the court. Okay, cool. We're gonna let him go, and we're gonna just run around him. We're gonna let him go up the field wherever he wants to go, and then we're gonna just block. We're gonna just use his momentum because he's 300 pounds and he doesn't put his foot in the ground and come back like a DB. So okay, cool. And then what he'll do, he'll turn, and we'll turn him, and then we'll make a lane. Oh, and then when he thinks we're going to let him do that, then we're going to double him, and we're going to push him 8 yards down the field. So there's things that he just has to learn. So I'm a 4. He'll learn those things. And if you go back to the beginning when they drafted him, he wasn't going to be one of the reasons why they wanted to bring back Hankins was so that Mazi wasn't a day one starter, so that they wasn't putting the load of the world on his shoulders. And this is why he's getting a bunch of these preseason reps, one for conditioning, one for knowledge, one for just understanding you need work. And now they can put things on film that they can go back to the lab and say, okay, here's where you went wrong. Here's where you were right. Here's what we need to improve. Here's what was good. Here what was bad, so on and so forth.
Yeah, I guess to me, the only thing that makes me a little bit uncomfortable about it is just the way that, and it's not his fault, the way that the team seemed to pitch it, where it's just like, oh yeah, our run defense, we didn't like it last year, and so we made a first round pick to fix it. And I'm like, okay, well, he ain't gonna fix it as a rookie. Like, he's not gonna do that. And maybe it just as the season goes along, but yeah, D-line is one of the tougher transitions from college to NFL, just the way it is. I think back to Jordan Davis with the Eagles a year ago, where he didn't have a very good rookie year, and he was a stud of a prospect. I think Jalen Carter's going to skip that crap because I just think he's that good. But most of them, it's going to take you a minute, and that's okay. Have you worked out the running back room yet?
Me?
Yeah. Have you figured out who's the running backs yet?
No. I mean, Tony Pollard's running back 1, and I still didn't see
Deuce and Rico.
I didn't see Deuce in the first half, so again,
just because he's safe.
I'm still waiting for them to Bleav more in Deuce. Maybe it'll happen this week against the Raiders.
They're gonna bubble wrap him. He's already safe. That wasn't his first carry, was it? The one where the dude. That's why he's gonna work, because you have a grown ass man who's like, I need to tackle this guy, and he reaches out to do it, and he's like, damn, his pads are very, very low down there. I can't really get down there. And Deuce is like, thank you, and takes a little spin and takes off running. Yeah, have fun tackling that man. I already got it figured out. Yeah, so it's Tony, and you can say it's Rico Dowdle as number 2. That's fine, but Deuce will have his own little stuff going on where they're going to make sure that they get him the ball. So I got the running back room figured out. Bye Malik, maybe you're on the practice squad. Bye Ronald Jones, and bye to the random fullback that everybody wanted to like. That ain't happening. So we just move it along. I thought Rico looked good, man. Running, he had a big pass protection on 3rd and 6 or 3rd and 7. Caught a touchdown. Rico's nice. I like the running back room.
The week before, outside of the fumble, I mean, the play he fumbled on was a damn good run. He just fumbled it, right? And that's the thing that you can't have. You can't have the fumbles. But, I mean, this is why Rico has been around for the last, was it 3 years? It feels like 2-3 years. It's because they see that potential in him. They see the ability for him to run pad level with elusiveness, with speed, with all of the intangibles that you want in your running back. So, I mean, we'll see. We're still getting there. We're still getting there. I'm just, how many snaps do you give Deuce Vaughn a game? And what are those snaps?
15, give or take. 12 to 15.
15?
12 to 15, yeah. 12 to 15.
Because here's how I think about this. I think about every time you give or you set in a package for Deuce Vaughn, there's a $10.1 million running back, the 4th highest paid running back in the National Football League. You're not getting him the ball. And then every time you give Deuce the ball, you're not getting it to Brandon Cooks, you're not getting it to CeeDee Lamb, and you're not getting it to other players like Jalen Tolbert or even Michael Gallup. So I'm just envisioning where 15 plays for Deuce Vaughn again.
I really like that point of never giving the ball to a running back. That's a really good point that you made. I do like that one. Like every time that you're giving it to Deuce Vaughn, you're not throwing. I like that point the best. I do enjoy that. Always throw the ball, baby.
Yeah, that's a lot. 15 is a lot. I think 15 is that's a stretch.
That might be high. Don't
pull a hammy with that stretch. That's a stretch.
Pollard play, I don't know, what are we doing? 70 offensive plays a game. Pollard plays 45 of them. That leaves me 25 to split between Rico and Deuce. That's fine. Something like that. Maybe you can't worry about the money part. They ain't going to worry about the money part. They are because
They've always worried about the money part.
Yeah, they kept giving it to a guy that wasn't very good over a guy that's awesome.
And this is like, they're going to run, like, I don't know if there was a scale, like a wear out scale, like what does 10.1 look like in the, like, I'm going to wear you out. But then, because let's be honest, they're not franchising Tony again. And they're not giving him a deal.
No, he'll likely, this is it. This is likely it.
So they're going to wear that $10.1 million out of Tony Pollard every which way from head to toe. They getting every dime out of him. So all this splitting carries between all these folks, they like dudes like you said, like you've always said, I'm going to use you on you.
Don't use me. Don't use me against me.
Deuce is cheap for the next 4 years. Yeah. He is very cheap for the next 4 years.
Hell yeah, he is.
It's the cheapest it's come for the next 4 years. I got 6 months with $10.1 million. And by darn it, I'm going to get every red nickel out of it. I don't know about all these splitting carries, Jeff. That's 10.1.
It's not split. It's not splitting. They're his backup. They just look, running backs don't play 100% of the snaps. They don't do it. He'll play 65, 70% of the snaps. And I got some snaps. I can sprinkle some. I can sprinkle some to my other guys.
Some snaps around.
just sprinkle
dust.
A little bit on them. Can I tell you what I'm most excited about for the Cowboys this year?
Yes.
Okay. Thing I'm most excited about and the thing I'm least excited about. Thing I'm most excited about is I love going back to week 1 last year and being like, hey guys, this team's won 12 games 2 years in a row. Pretty good team, pretty good roster. Did you remember last year in week 1 who started at wide receiver? Because that was CeeDee Lamb, Noah Brown, and Dennis Houston. So you now have, because Jalen Tolbert, like this is, I've seen this guy before. I watched this guy at South Alabama. The Jalen Tolbert that was out there last year, I've never seen that guy before. I don't know him. I know the South Alabama version. He can play. They now have like CD is CD, right? Same last year to this year, still got CD.
Yeah.
You now have 3 dudes that are better than your second best receiver going into week 1 last year. And you now have a real wide receiver room with at least 4 dudes that are capable of playing and that I'm not mad when they're on the field. And I don't think, there's 0 chance he can get open. You have a back-to-back 12-win team that upgraded so massively at one of the premier positions in the sport, and I love it. Bubble wrap Jalen Tolbert. We're done here.
Least thing you had you can't.
Thing I'm least excited about, and we did this last year. This is where, like, I told the Cowboys how their season was going to end. Their season was going to end because they were going into the year not good at wide receiver. And eventually you're going to play a team that you're going to score points on. And if you ain't got no damn weapons and they have a good defense, life gets really hard and you end up scoring 12 points. This year, that problem is on the offensive line. As soon as somebody goes down, this thing is effed. So I still hope that they're going to find a guy. Hey, Josh Ball played a decent game in preseason game number 2. He sucked in preseason game number 1, and he hasn't been good for the years he's been in the NFL, but maybe that was a little starting point. Maybe that guy can be a backup guard. I don't know, but I don't believe in it. I don't believe in any of the dudes that they have. And now Let's-Go's hurt, and now Udoga's hurt, and by God, you better find somebody off the streets. I want Jason Peters in here today. And then tomorrow, I want that Denver Reisner. I want that dude in here too. I want you to bring in dudes because this is it. This is your year. And you are going in doomed at one spot. And it's offensive line. As soon as somebody goes down, you're screwed. That's all.
That's all I got.
That's it. That's the party. We did it.
We did it.
We believed in the Dallas Cowboys. We hope that you guys have a good day. And we'll be back, I don't know, I forgot, at some point. I mean, they got another preseason game. We might preview it.
Yeah.
We'll definitely react to it.
Absolutely.
We'll do something.
Yeah.
Practice is today at the Star. Go out there. 6:00, open practice. If anybody wants to go watch it.
Yes.
All right.
Go check out
Love you, Jesse.
My show is Unfiltered with Jesse Holley. Go check that out at Fanatic Views and also on my YouTube page at Jesse Holley 16. So yeah, it's done.
Oh, it's done and done? It's official and official?
Yeah, first episode went out. It's supposed to go out last night, but we were having some technical difficulties about all this, so it went out this morning, 8 a.m.
We're going to have to get you hardwired. I feel like your Wi-Fi isn't good enough sometimes.
Yeah, I'm working with people and learning this whole new thing, and so we're just doing a lot of stuff.
It'll be good. It'll be kick-ass. All right, well, that'll do it for us. Thank you to Bet Online, and thank you for all of you hanging out with us and watching and listening. And remember, you have no idea what anyone's going through, so be cool to everyone. We love you. Be easy.
Eliminate the contingencies.